Hey everyone, time for another Concave Secret. Today I'm going to show you some things, tips and tricks that will make your skilling definitely easier and more convenient, and hopefully even less stressful and more relaxed. So, first of all, the bank you're at matters. This is only going to work at banks that you can actually click behind the banker and not run there. So if I were to click a little too far out here, just here, my character would then begin to run outside. So you got to make sure you're at a bank that you can click behind the banker. You have to be able to do this from inside the bank. So here, I can still click behind the banker. Now with my clan avatar here, I have to be a little more careful than others. I'm actually going to pull this over a little more, if I can there. Make my life a little easier. So what you're going to do is, from your bank, you can click behind the banker and actually not move. This saves you the trouble of actually having to click the X up here. So you say you get your inventory out, and then you misclick and you're going to like run over here. I don't want to do that. Okay? Now if you accidentally click the question mark, no problem. Some people don't realize this. If you click the question mark, you can actually just go ahead and do up your inventory. You just click on the item, and then I'm going to bonfire because I don't actually want to use these items, but say I was fletching, you could just click here and you could pick whatever you want to do. So now with things that you're going to withdraw your whole inventory, withdraw to fill your whole inventory, you'd want to put that on the bottom row, near the bottom right. The idea of this method is to keep your cursor all in this bottom corner section of your screen. Instead of moving it up and then back down and over in case you got an item up here, just move it around in your bank. The magic logs were actually up here where my cape is, but I put them down here for the to show you how to do this in the video. So if I'm going to withdraw something from my whole inventory, I'm going to do all or all but one. Now you see that these two options are just below the bank, like the bank interface. So if I were to click all or all but one, assuming you have more than 28, because you're going to be doing multiple inventories, you could click either option and then just click on the floor again behind the banker and you're out of the bank and you're ready to do up your inventory. Now with things that you have to withdraw a certain amount, 14 is probably the most common because that's used from everything in, I mean, the cooking, the wines that I'm going to show you here, which it doesn't matter what you're doing, wines or battle staffs or stringing bows, it has many applications. So that number is probably the most common, or at least it's up there. So the reason I have these up here instead of down here is because the withdraw X option, now that's where I would pick it, but the option that actually appears is right here lined up with my deposit inventory and deposit all and anything else that might be down here. So if you were to accidentally double click, you're in a hurry, then here, if I had 14 and then I double click, and they're back in the bank now. So that's why that's up here. It's just out of the way. So if I double click, it doesn't matter. So again, click right down here right after, click, and then you have your cursor chilling on the bank booth, and I'll show you how convenient this is as soon as I finish the inventory. Now my cursor is very near these items. If you were getting really serious about scaling, you could position it. You could actually move these over one more here, and then now you gotta watch like at what point on your screen your cursor needs to be. But so I can click out of my bank booth, I can click here, do my inventory, and then put my mouse at about that position. So as soon as I finish my inventory, it's right near here. It's right near the item. But that doesn't matter too much to me because you've got to hit the deposit all. So I'm not too concerned with having them one over. I like to keep them to the right of this button so that everything that happens is basically down there. And that's about it. So hopefully this will make your skilling more relaxed. It'll definitely make it more convenient not having to try to find the small X button, because I know that can be a pain sometimes, whether you're lagging or you're trying to go super fast with the clicking mouse here, up and down. So yeah, believe me, I know how it can be sometimes, how frustrating when you accidentally hit the wrong stuff or run across the bank or across the RuneScape world. Now again, your screen positioning is important. You cannot do it like this. I mean, you can, but you're going to run out in the middle of the bank. So if I take my inventory and then I click here, I'm running out in the middle of the bank, and that kind of defeats the purpose. You could. I mean, I guess if you wanted to like run out of the bank and let people watch you skill, I see people do that sometimes. I'm not sure why, if they're just trying to like come out in the middle of the bank and let people see like, oh, look at me, I'm fletching. I honestly don't know why they do that. But yeah, it could work that way, but not quite as I intend. I like to just be standing still, makes it much easier. I click here out of the bank and I'm back in the bank. So again, I hope you enjoyed this, hope it makes your lives easier, and I'll see you next week.